Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Friday, believe it or not, already. It seems like it was just Friday yesterday. Could that happen? Could you have two Fridays next to each other?
I think if every day was Friday, the world would be a lot happier.
In your brain, it could be. But hey, welcome to the grounds, guys, with Giles and Jones. I'm Giles. Jones is not in the camera today. He's producing. He's hiding over there. And we got Steve, or Mr. Schlegel, again, joining us today, where we are here to talk about, should we be afraid of AI?
Yes, indeed.
I just said yes, and I said that's the end of the show, right? I mean, afraid or leery?
Yeah, well,
I think there's a
leery
difference
for sure.
Leery for sure, right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, artificial intelligence, is that kind of like an oxymoron? I mean, when I hear artificial intelligence, I cringe. I don't know.
You know, we've not designed a computer that can actually think, but you know, I'm more scared of the things that it can do right now, the jobs that it's taking away from artists and other, you know, writers.
Well, hold on there, fellas. I know I'm not out there on the camera. Uncle Pete has the URL.
The URL.
Again, the most unique show that 216 Creator Studios has, where the listeners can be part of the show by putting that into their web address area, the URL. And then just joining us, coming right on. Of course, we want to shout out to the people who support the studio. That's going to be our good friends over at Natural Therapy Wellness Center. Check them out, www.mchenrymassage.com. Mother's Day this weekend. Get her a massage. Nothing better than award-winning Natural Therapy Wellness.
You can do a double bubble for her, right? Get her a $5 bouquet for $5 Fridays from JH Events, and get her a massage. She should be set up for the whole weekend.
Yeah, JH Events and Flowers, of course. Check them out at www.jheventsandflowers.com. Here's the cool thing. Be a hero. They have subscriptions for flowers. You want to be cool.
Do they?
Don't just get mom flowers on Mother's Day. You can do it every 2 weeks. You can do it once a month, whatever.
Really?
You can set it up where you get they'll call you or deliver.
Interesting.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
My mom would love that.
Yeah,
I absolutely love that.
I've done that for my wife and daughters. Absolutely love it at the house because once a month, fresh flowers come in, and the flowers from JH Events and Flowers are. I mean, they last 2-3 weeks. It's pretty good.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Very good companies. We appreciate them supporting the studio.
Yep.
You know, so guys, get a chance, spread the word, spread the love, let them know they are out there. Both of them are very excellent businesses here, located right here in the heart of McHenry, Illinois.
Yeah.
So real quickly, how was your week, guys? Good, bad, and different? I mean, it happened. It didn't happen. Did you make shit happen? Did you fall on your nose?
Hectic, but good.
Yeah.
Overall good. I choose to look at it through that lens.
You have to, because if you don't look at it through that lens, no one else is going to look at it through that lens, right?
If you just look at it as just pure chaos, it's harder to manage in your head at the end of the week.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. But today's topic is one for me that is. Like I said, the question for me, should we be afraid of? And I know there's so many good things that can potentially come out of it.
Yeah.
But for me, being in such its infantile stage right now, and the things that I see happening in the world, for me, it's scarier than hell.
Yeah.
Right. Because it has the benefit to do a lot of really good things, but I think at this point it's one of those things where, everyone talks about like the deep fakes and things like that.
Oh yeah.
Like, what's real anymore? You don't know, because things are so just seamlessly, I don't even know what the word I want to use, but just realistic.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't know. So, I mean, now you're on guard. We've always been on guard anyway, to make sure that things are real and paying attention to what's, we have to pay attention to, so to speak. But now with like AI, I mean, for me and emails and stuff like that, I know AI is not just, but they're sending it out. But just the opening a simple email these days is like, wow, I don't know what I want to do. Right. I mean, should I open that? Can I verify the sender? And even if I verify the sender, am I still going to open it? Because, I've always looked at things and been more of a a little bit more pessimistic, right? I look at things and I start looking at the problems right away instead of the solutions, or not necessarily the solutions, but what issue could come out of this. And so now with AI, that's just whoop. Yeah, I mean, my what's the word? The kashit detector, whatever you want to say. Just, no matter what goes off in every aspect of my life right now when it has to do with anything that has a technology driven behind it.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm not sure, and I'm the last person you want to ask about technology and computers and stuff like that. I know how to use them for the most part, turn them on, which is a good thing.
Of course, yeah.
You know?
Basic IT, you know,
right.
is it plugged in?
Yes, well, that's my thing. If the computer's not working, unplug it.
Right.
You know, and that seems to solve everything. But I mean, for me, I'm scared of it because of the potential that it has to. There's a lot in my mind I feel that could probably help us out, but you know, of course, that does not always come to the forefront when some new technology comes out. It's, you know, and this one is a game changer, I think, for our entire world.
Oh, it is. And it's only going to get crazier. Right now we've seen AI do so many things, and it's going to change the world. It's going to change the face of everything we do day to day in ways that we won't even comprehend sometimes. Surprisingly enough, because, you know, it's relevant to us. We're here on social media right now, right?
Right.
In regular human people are actually making a comeback as influencers. That's started to die down a little bit, influencing the opinion in the general populace. And the reason that they're starting to make a comeback right now is because AI is putting out 5,000 positive reviews on a product within 5 minutes of it being listed. And people are catching on. I mean, you can tell it's 5,000 reviews in under a minute, all 5-star reviews. You know, this product is amazing.
Right, something's a little hokey there.
Right. And AI is putting those out. People are paying AI to do that. So people are less trusting unless it's a verified source now.
And how do you verify now?
Right.
So that's
got to be a real person.
Well, right. And that's the thing is how do you verify that anything, you know, like with emails?
Yeah.
Right? I know I just learned this trick not too long ago as far as clicking on the sender's email address, and it'll tell you if it's the actual who they say they are.
Yeah.
But even when I click on that address and it says that it says it's who they are, I'm still like, yeah, I don't know. Do I trust it?
You know, I think everybody's a little scared about change all the time. Any sort of change, you know, makes people nervous. I think there's a huge difference between being scared of the implications of what AI is and being scared of AI as in, like, we're not seeing Skynet anytime soon. You know, they're not creating Terminators going to rise up against the humanity, at least not in our lifetime. Or Isaac Asimov style Caves of Steel, iRobot, where the robots are smart and they determine that humans aren't necessary, Matrix style. Like, that's when people are like, I'm scared of AI. That's kind of what I think. And even funnier, NVIDIA, great tech company, but they built iRobot looking robots and they equipped them with AI. So now they're walking around looking exactly like the robots from iRobot. And I think it's hysterical.
I think we actually have that already.
Yeah.
You know, so I want to just real quickly jump the morning, Shayna. Good morning, Bob. How are you guys? Bob says concerns about how AI is applied in the real world includes misuse, fraud, and scams.
Absolutely. That's what I'm scared of.
Right. Because anything can be used for good, bad, or indifferent. Right. And where it's going to go and where it's not going to go. Shayna says, morning. If there was any reason to lean into the serenity of prayer, it's AI. DARPA doesn't play unless a weapon is involved. I don't know what DARPA is. Those with the most understanding of AI have become frantic with warnings. Commerce always wins. Skynet is here. So I don't know what DARPA is. You looking that one up there, Mr. Jones? No. So if you could let us know what DARPA is, Shane, I'd be interested to really know that. But I mean, the thing with AI is what's like any technology, new technology is the use. What's the use going to be? Is it going to be used for good, bad, and different? No. Well, yes. The answer is yes.
It's
right?
It's at the end
used on all four fronts.
It's going to be used by a human, though. So if somebody wants to use AI to crash the stock market, I mean that's not that far off. But at the same time, somebody's always had that. It's like saying, should we be scared of guns? not by themselves. It's who's using
Yeah,
it.
I've never seen.
You know?
I've never seen a gun kill somebody. Mine's sitting on the front porch, has never shot anybody.
Right, not by itself.
Not by itself. Right.
Right.
Yeah, there's always something driving behind
Mm-hmm.
that mechanism. And with AI, although with AI, you know, you kind of brought up the iRobot type of thing.
Yeah.
At what point does it become its own teacher?
And when
If
the
it already hasn't.
and that's when we need to be a little bit worried, is when it can actually learn on its own and decide what to learn. Right now, I think we're pretty far away from that capability. But what do I know? What do you think?
He's smiling.
Yeah, I don't know what that look is for.
So what I've heard this morning is new technology, blah, blah, blah. Artificial intelligence was coined back in 1956. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? Here's the artificial intelligence I see, and that's human beings. We think we know. What is art? Tell me, how does it learn? Tell me that.
That's a good question.
Here's the whole thing, people, and here's this stupid shit that just drives me crazy. It's a fucking computer.
Yeah.
Go unplug it. It's done. What
Yeah.
do you have to be scared about? I mean, literally, a computer does not have arms and can't make that cord wiggle up and plug itself into the goddamn wall.
Right.
True.
It cannot.
Right.
Unplug it.
Yeah.
Well, there's several different learnings artificial intelligence does. Machine learning. It's got what else? Deep learning. I mean, there's types of learning, but in essence, we're talking about a computer.
Yeah. Well, in essence, it is a computer
or computers.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Unplug it.
Is it that easy?
Yeah, it's that easy.
You unplug your phone.
Oh, hey, you know what's amazing? Here's what it is. People are like, yeah, but I see robots. I see robots that are learning, and it's going to be like iRobot.
Like iRobot.
Right? You know what I saw the other day? I was watching TV, and you know what I saw? I saw apes speaking English. Apes. And then they made this movie. It's called Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Now this is not the Planet of the Apes from the 60s where it was you in an ape costume. These are real apes. So now apes are talking. When are apes going to take over the world?
As soon as they unplug their computer.
Right? Right? The insanity is our own imagination that starts creating something that's not there. We've been using artificial intelligence for years and years and years and decades.
Yeah.
And decades.
Right.
Right?
Right. But I think this is just me, because I think it's become way more prominent out there, and it's being used a lot more because they figured out, from what my understanding, right, is that it's just now it's evolved considerably. Yes, we've had it for a long time, but now at the point, from what I'm seeing, it's evolved to the point to where it could become a lot more dangerous, right, for our world because of the deep fakes. And it also can help. There's a lot of things that it could possibly help with, but I didn't know it started back way back then.
Of
right?
course.
Yeah.
But I mean, like anything else, it's been I'm going to use the word beta testing or whatever, it's been evolving ever since, but I didn't even know it started way back then. So, I mean, what was artificial intelligence back when it started, right? Like an answering machine type of, you know what I mean?
So even back in the 50s, the idea of AI becoming an all-powerful, all-learning computer program design that was smart enough to take out humans, right? That is from the 50s. So, I mean, when Isaac Asimov wrote iRobot and Caves of Steel, that's what he was talking about. But it was this weird dystopian future. What we see currently is just advanced computer programs, like computer programs with a lot of lines of code. But they're still basic programs, and as of right now, you're absolutely right. You just unplug the computer until somebody writes a computer virus that goes on the web and travels on the web, and even that, it's still not technically artificial intelligence. I mean, there's no intelligence there. It's a code. It's designed to complete one task, and that's what we were saying about humans. It's who programmed it. what did they program it for, and how are they going to use it? And at the end of the day, you're still just scared of the human being that has the capability of writing that code.
Right. So my question, being not a computer guy, is if a code, it's just a code, it's a line of code that is doing it. How is it per se learning, right?
Yeah.
If it's just a computer of ones and zeros,
Yeah.
right, that's going through a multi-function, a function, it's doing what it's asking itself to do. How does it learn and grow then? If it's just a line of code, does that line of code say, wait, you need to extend yourself? I mean, how does, and that's where I'm kind of in the dark on this one, right? When you say artificial intelligence,
So,
for me, is it learning from itself, or
it's learning from humans? And so I think a big problem, and a lot of the reason that people are mad at AI specifically when it comes to artwork right now, that's a huge button topic. You see that all over the place. AI is creating art, and AI isn't just it's not visualizing the art and then painting it. It's taking multiple sources that it sees online, multiple paintings that already exist, and combining them together and creating an image. So that's why when people say AI is stealing art, it sort of is. It's compiling multiple different sources together, but they're all human sources. It's not visualizing its own masterpiece and then painting it. And it doesn't learn per se. It just compiles existing information and comes up with a result.
So what's wrong with that?
Well, nothing, as long as, with it. I'm not an artist, but I know a lot of artists who are upset about AI art, specifically when it draws influence from existing art, because they're afraid that that's just going to take their spot. In a lot of ways, though, I mean, I see a huge amount of benefits to these complicated programs that are able to learn and research based off of what we tell it to do. The possibilities are endless. This is going to really advance a lot of areas in a lot of really positive ways as well. But again, it's like having your finger on the trigger, right? It's like I'm more scared of the people that would be utilizing.
So would you fly in a self-flying plane?
Well, we already do every day.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Right? Why are we scared? Why are we scared of artificial intelligence?
Right.
That's a set of algorithms that teaches the plane to take off and land by itself. Right. And the pilot's there just in case something goes wrong.
And that's where the question for the show today is a little bit, I don't want to say skewed, but it's like the little things, like the way that it's going right now, because we have had it for a long time, right? There are goods, bads, and indifference. Yeah. And I think, should we be afraid because it is so advanced, or getting so advanced to the point where it is really hard to tell the difference between human and computer generated, right? I mean, granted, at a plane, it's pretty obvious. We know that the plane is being flown by the computer because it makes less errors than a human. At least that was the original
right
behind
100%.
It, right? So with that, I mean,
what is hard to decipher between a computer and human?
Well, I'm not so. When the computer is flying that plane, right? Yeah. It's pretty straightforward. Like, and we know what it's doing. As far as the computer and the person, right? Like, you get these calls or machines that are answering or talking to you. You have no idea if it's real or not, right? And for me, that's a tough one, because when you're talking to a human, it's a human, they're listening to you. But if you're talking to a computer, are they trying to mimic your voice? I mean, the big thing out there is, that it can reproduce your voice to, these are the things I've heard, open credit cards,
100%.
Do things like that. And to me, that's scary. Have we had that technology for a while? Probably. Has it been used? Not that I've known, but I'm sure it has been. But now it's in the forefront saying, these are the things to watch out for. So when you say, should you be afraid? Those are the things that bother me. The plane doesn't so much, because that one actually adds, I think, a little bit of safety to the whole scenario. Just like with cars, it's scary as hell, but it's also, I get it, because some of the drivers out there are scary as hell. I'd rather the computer control their vehicle than them controlling.
We've had one self-driving car crash since they created them. I mean, so far
I'm sure there's more, but the one that they heard of. But that's the thing, right?
See, Eric makes a good point here. I think the average people,
they're afraid of it, but won't even realize when they're interacting with AI.
Which is extremely true. I mean, because it's everywhere. It's everywhere. You know, I think in order to say yes or no to be scared of AI, you got to first establish what level are we talking about existing currently. Scared of the potential, maybe, not scared of it as it is. I think when people are scared of AI, they are scared of it eventually becoming Skynet, becoming like iRobot. I mean, that is the fear. That's what the fear has been since the 50s. But like, you know,
You
that
can
was
replace people.
That was written as science fiction. And I think it's just now we're making advancements in AI so quickly.
So if you drive down Route 14 between Woodstock and Crystal Lake,
yeah,
you drive by AI all the time. They're the little Husqvarna mowers. They mow the median on 14.
Oh, they have computerized. Do they really?
Yeah, they're like the Roombas, but they're lawnmowers.
Yeah, I've seen those in people's yards, but I didn't know that the county took on those.
And they go, right? Why we love that? Why are we scared of that? Is that all of a sudden going to go and just start?
Well, that one's just going to come to your house. Yeah, it's going to come to your house and start mowing your yard for no charge.
Right,
so
but
I'm afraid of that.
Right? we like that. It learns. It learns the parameters. Right. It learns how to. It doesn't go into the road or hop over the curb.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? It knows exactly how long it's got, and then it's got to return to the charger that's sitting right there. Right.
Yeah.
Look, we're afraid of AI because of what we don't know.
I was just going to say, it's the ignorance of what we don't know, but it's
Eric.
also right. But it's also the
I do too, Eric.
It's also the what if,
and and ChatGPT. You know, of course. I mean, that's one of the most helpful tools we have right now. One of the most helpful programs we have in the world is ChatGPT, and that's why I say like
ChatGPT teaching people how to talk.
Well,
or how to write a proper sentence.
Yeah, I mean, logo making. Like I told, my wife owns a printing company. She pays a designer, and this is where people might be upset, but not necessarily afraid. She used to pay a designer. That designer had a baby. That designer was excellent, could make any logo that you saw, but in a couple hours it would take. Now you give ChatGPT a couple prompts, you've got your completely finished, polished logo, done and completed, ready to rock. Great program. Did it replace her need to replace that employee? Yeah, it did. That was that employee's only job, and now a computer does it. But that's not being afraid of. That's more how do you feel about humans being replaced by machines?
I was going to say that person could, I mean, if you use the word be afraid, because they're going to lose their job or their niche.
Yeah.
But something else potentially will come along as something else is absorbed. You pick up a new, new job or a new skill, so to speak. So good, bad, and indifferent and everything. But, as the question is being afraid, for me, the reason I say yes, and then, hey, end of show, is because I don't know enough.
Yeah.
In that respect, I'm ignorant when it comes to that, as far as I know what I've been told it can do and what we're hoping it can do and some of the things it's already done, but it's still, I don't know enough. So it does scare me. So that's my own ignorance that causes that. So for me to be scared, and that's a problem with a lot of things I feel in our world is, people are scared or having problems with because they don't know enough. And I don't know enough so for me to speak really openly and honestly on AI is tough. I know what it does to me when you say it, right? I mean, for me, the first thing that comes into my head is, a doom and gloom thing, right? But then you talk about the airplanes, right? Had them forever. Talk about this, talk about that. It's been there. It's been accepted.
Cruise control in your car now slows you down if you get too close to a car.
Right.
Yep.
Right. It's been to it. We've gotten
reads
used
the lines,
to
keeps you in the lines.
Right. We've gotten used to those things. Those have become very integrated into our lives already. But now this new, for me, once again, the new step of being able to deep fake, mimic your voice, do this, do that, has probably been there. But for me, it's a new thing that I still don't understand.
But wait.
It's
been
more.
There forever. It just came out of Hollywood, and we said, "Oh, well, it's got to be a special effect," and we were okay with that. Apes really don't talk.
Yeah,
that is AI generated. That is fake.
Right.
And listen, folks. I spoiler alert: apes do not speak English. They don't. Okay. So don't, sorry.
That is a spoiler alert.
Sorry.
You just ruined a lot of people's lives.
ruined
Right.
a lot of days just then.
So it's been around forever. Pow. Oh, he died on screen. Okay.
Right.
Well, then
Did he?
you see him in a movie. Wait a minute. There he is again, right?
Right.
So artificial intelligence has been around forever, and we choose to accept it or we don't choose to accept it.
Yeah.
Right. And now, because we think, oh man, the Beatles just released one. I heard John Lennon's voice. I think that's cool as shit.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That was really cool.
That is cool.
And people are like, well, it's not the Beatles. No, it really was. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It's really cool.
Right.
But how it got put together is
Right.
like, woo.
Yeah. No, of course.
And listen, whoever is listening to this, let me ask you this. This goes to you, Scott. Why is your life so important that somebody's going to copy your voice to open a credit card in your name?
Well, I don't think it has anything to do with my life being important. It has to do with the fact that they can steal something from me.
Okay, so what?
But why choose me? I don't know.
But
why
so
me?
can a burglar. I mean, there was a bank robbery here in town. They stole people's money.
Right.
It doesn't. Why does somebody want to steal something from you? What makes you so important? They go, hey,
I don't know.
this is Scott Giles. I want his credit card. Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Listen,
Yeah.
hey, here's another one. Everybody, all of your information is out on the black web, the dark web.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
Everything is out there.
Yeah.
If you've ever filled out anything online anywhere, and now with medical records, listen, it's already been stolen.
Yeah.
Everything about you is in everybody's hand that's going to do something evil. Why you?
Because
I love it.
you were
People-
the next.
Yeah.
You were the next one in line. Basically, I mean, I just got hacked. You know, my Facebook account a couple weeks back, hacked. Right? Why me? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Because you've never changed your password ever. Right. That was
Yeah, no,
That's-
but I
that's a
mean,
good
for
answer.
it, I mean, that's the thing for me. Why me? I'm not very out there, right? As far as in that scene, I mean, some of the businesses will
Yeah.
run through that, but
okay.
but why me? Why did they choose
Well-
me? I mean,
Well, let's
Yeah.
let's
I
go
don't know.
back. Let's go back to a year 2020, and people were getting injections to help
Stave off.
keep them healthy from a pandemic. And what was everybody saying? Hey, there's trackers in there. They're going to track you.
Yep.
Hey, there's chips. They're putting microchips in there. They're going to track you.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I get my Google report every month. And it's like, hey, you went to 2 new cities. I'm pretty boring.
Yeah.
Why am I so important that the government's going to track me? Why on God's green earth would the government be like, hey, let's spend billions of dollars to track a guy who literally doesn't go out of McHenry County very often?
or
Yeah.
why? Because he pays us to be able to track them through hashtag.
You understand what I'm
computers,
saying?
Right.
People get so crazy about
Right.
stupid shit.
They
Americans.
let- right.
Americans.
They let their brain start wandering, going to worst case scenarios,
You
right?
just nailed it.
Americans.
yeah.
yeah.
No, this is a distinctly American fear. I mean, of course, it's not exclusively American, but there is a higher percentage of people that are worried about it. My old roommate, okay, he used to sit there and pay for all these programs, and he'd be like, I'm only going to browse online anonymously. I'm going to use a VPN everywhere I go. I'm going to do all this, and this. And it's like, bro, we have 3 Google Homes in the house. They can hear everything we're saying at all. If I have a conversation with you about a movie, I guarantee you, I log on to Facebook, it's going to be giving me a preview of that movie, telling me when the show times are. That's just what it is. This thing, you could turn off everything in the whole world, but unless you actually take this apart and take out essential parts for it to run, this is checking where you go. Like you just said, it
Hashtag
knows.
pocket computer.
Well, right, and it knows when you go to a new city. It knows. Hey,
Do you have OnStar on your
Yep.
car? Guess what?
Oh, that
Oh
was
no, I
mine.
don't pay for that. Oh, they know where you're at.
Oh,
They
yeah.
can still shut that car off.
Right.
right in an
Right.
emergency, they can still locate you with OnStar,
That's
which
right.
means it's always on.
Right.
Um,
Well, that's right. And with the phones, that's something I asked people for the longest time. I says, what's the one thing with phones that you can't do anymore? And nobody gets the answer.
Can't take the battery out.
Can't take the battery out. So
Yep.
that means that phone's always on even when you shut it
Or
off.
break it.
mhm.
Right. You got, like you just said, you got to dismantle it. You know, they say they do it for waterproofing reasons, but
Sure, and that's true.
Right. It's not. But there's other things that are waterproof that you can still take the battery.
Again,
But
again,
so
why do I think my life is so brilliantly important that the United States government goes, no, we got to follow that fucker.
I got to watch them F-bombs.
I'll tell you what, this guy right here.
And that's my old roommate. It was just like, what do you think that you're doing that you need to take all of these precautions? Like, you're not out there building bombs or anything. Like, you sit at home, you play video games, and you smoke weed. Like, why would anybody care about your life? You don't even leave the house.
Right.
Like, why does anybody care about your life enough for you to get yourself worked up to? And he'd get himself worked up to
All
here.
right, Shayna, we love you. Have a great day. Thanks for jumping in for as long as you could.
It hurts my brain.
Right.
That's not good. If we're hurting Shayna's brain, this subject's a little bit offbeat.
Right. So listen, what I'm saying is we are afraid of the story that we create in our own mind.
Yes.
We're not afraid of AI. We're afraid of the story we make up in our own mind. Bar none, period. Look, Gen Xers are the best generation ever. And we're the worst generation ever. I can guarantee you, back in 1973, when they said, hey, the year 2000, you drew a picture of flying cars and the Jetsons, and we were excited about this. Well, here we are in 2024, and we're like, AI is the worst thing ever.
Right.
It's going to kill. I'm so afraid it's going to take over the world. Going to steal everything. Wait a minute. What happened to the little kid from the 70s who drew spaceships and said, man, we're gonna be flying around X-wing fighters.
Thought it was gonna be the coolest thing in the world.
The coolest thing ever. There's gonna be a robot that vacuums my house. Well, people have that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna be able to put frozen food into something and get it out in 2 minutes. It's gonna be hot.
Right.
Oh my God. And now we're like, oh, AI.
Back then, that would have been considered artificial intelligence, right?
We need to seriously be afraid of AI.
Right.
Now, DARPA, DARPA, is the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, which was created. It's a part of the United States Department of Defense, and it was created on February 7th, 1958.
Okay, there you go. Thank you, Shayna. Never heard of that one before. I'm sure there's quite a few more that we haven't heard of either, though, with a lot more letters behind them.
I go back to the movie Tommy Boy, and I go back to Ray Zelinsky, the Auto Parts King, and Ray Zelinsky.
The American people are the American people.
What the American people don't know makes them the American people.
Yeah,
I make auto parts for the working man because that's who I am and that's who I care about. Listen,
I love that.
What a reference!
It's a great movie.
Listen, the bottom line is this: what the American people don't know makes them the American people. A lot of people don't understand geopolitical. A lot of people don't understand the Department of Defense. We aren't the only nation with that.
Of course,
these people are in communication. All these countries, geopolitically, everything is tied together and interwebbed like an octopus, right?
Yep.
I want you to understand that. And let me tell you that there are little countries that we've probably never heard of that got some pretty mean weapons, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we've got mean weapons, and everybody does. But we all go, hey, listen. I'm not going to use mine if you don't use yours. Yeah, we're good. People don't want to die.
No,
they just don't. Right. And listen, artificial intelligence, I absolutely love. I use it all the time. I'm not afraid of it. And you know why? Who cares? All of a sudden, if a robot knocks on my door, like in
Mr. Jones, we have a package for you,
like an iRobot, I'm like, it's pretty fucking cool. People will see robots boxing people. That's fake. It's all AI generated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's fake. Right. Are there companies? Yes. Honda is a big company that works on robots and robotic
they've had
stuff
them for a long time.
Right. And is there robots that can walk? Yeah. Yes, there are.
They can. Yeah. Barely. We're barely at the walking stage.
But again, people understand their brain is not our brain. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's got to be programmed by a human.
Yeah.
And it can be unplugged. Tim said it. Just unplug it. Game over.
Right. And that's for me, like when I was saying earlier, so what I don't know enough, right? That's what scares me, is because I don't know enough, and the information is out there. I have chosen at this point not to really get too deep into it, and I listen to everything else, which is not necessarily a good thing, right? And what's coming from other people, but for me, the being afraid is what can come from it, or at least what everyone is saying, what's going to come from it. And I listen to some of that shit instead of just forming my own opinion, because, just like Kent's saying and the things he's bringing up, I mean, it's been around forever. It's a great thing, but like anything else, is it going to be used for bad? Of course it is. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. It's going to get good and bad.
And I want to go back to something Ken said earlier. Okay. The you can choose to be against it, you can choose to accept it. You have the illusion of choice, but just like we discussed, there is no choice. It's here. I mean, it's been here forever. We use it every day. So you can choose to be against AI in theory, but then you're still going to go to an ATM. You're still going to do online banking. You're still going to be having a robot vacuum your house or mow your lawn. The illusion that you can just be like, I'm against AI, I'm not going to use it, is a fallacy. You don't have that option.
Right.
So, and to your point, I know a lot of people don't want to look it up. They don't want to get into it, but it doesn't stop you from having to use it. So you might as well.
Right.
I mean,
well, and for me, and this is the funny thing for me, when I think of AI, I don't think of the thing that flies the plane. I don't think of the ATM machine. I don't think of the cruise control in your car, right? That's a computer to me. And that's where and this isn't my fault, and it's probably an American idiot fault type thing, right? Too, that because it means something different. So now that AI instead of computers, right, is something that's learning and changing and adapting, the negatives that come out, it's like, ooh, but then you look at what you say and go, well, those things aren't bad, right? Yeah. It's here, embrace it. Is it going to be used for bad? Of course it is. You know what I mean? That's just unfortunately the way it's going to be, but it is integrated. It's fully integrated into our lives, right? And trying to understand it and get a little bit more in depth into it is important for me.
Yeah.
But so that's why when the first question comes out, should we be afraid of it? Because I don't know enough, right?
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. If you don't know something, being maybe not afraid of it, but leery, right?
Yeah.
Until you understand what's going on behind it, at least for me, is important.
Well,
right?
being skeptical about anything until you get the facts on it, absolutely.
But that's when you say being afraid. For me, afraid is because I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. So what I don't know scares me.
And
if
also,
I'm not taking the initiative to figure out why I shouldn't be scared, that's my problem, right? And that's what I have to deal with. But if I don't know and I have people talking to me and start scaring the shit out of me, it's like, I want to pull back and be like, wait. And then you bring up the comments, but it's already here.
Yeah.
Right? It's just at what level that you're allowing it into your life. And if you don't, unplug it. In certain respects, you can. I mean, you can't unplug this. You can turn it off, but it's still there.
I mean,
but we do have choices.
Anybody have our good friends at Netflix?
No, of course.
Because all of a sudden you pop on Netflix and it's like, here's picks we think you'll like.
Oh, yeah.
Right. What?
Right.
What?
Well, it knows. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? That does look like a good movie. Let me watch that one. You're right.
They're sneaking inside my brain.
Artificial intelligence.
And the thing is it's artificial intelligence just gathers all this knowledge and compiles it, right? Stuff that you don't know about yourself.
So
because you haven't sat back and analyzed everything. Well, this thing does. It says, oh, you looked at this.
So let's go back a few years to the year 2020. Mm-hmm. Okay.
We're there.
Here's maybe what have you ever seen look over here and don't look over here?
The movie Wag the Dog.
Right. So then maybe instead of artificial intelligence, which is a computer we can absolutely unplug, we should be afraid of Billy turning too quickly in a lab in Atlanta and spilling a petri dish.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hey, guess what's coming out? The cicadas are coming out. Everybody's talking about cicadas.
No, I know.
Cicadas, oh man, cicadas. It's
got the world in an uproar.
And cool. Yeah, great. Good for the cicadas, right? I think he was the lead singer of
They got to wake up sometime.
Right?
They got to wake up, right? Where they've been dormant for 14 years.
But here's the thing. Y'all worried about a computer that you can unplug. What about that biplane flying right over your corn, sprinkling some
Chemicals, something,
supposedly,
right?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
And then you're like, hey, that's great. Hey, look, this here particular product that I'm about to eat is good for 8 years.
Yeah.
I'll
Got so much preservative in it.
Hey, this bread ain't gonna go bad for 8 years.
Oh my God.
Right? I mean, so maybe it's look over here and be scared of a computer that you absolutely can control and unplug.
But we're giving you the illusion that you can't.
Because it's gonna steal your stuff. It's gonna steal your credit card information.
Yeah.
Go for it, right?
Anthony says, good morning. Kent grew some hair and dyed it brown.
That's right.
I think it looks good on me. What do you guys think? Yeah.
He got
Trying something new, you
got a
know.
little taller too.
So
I'll shave it off for 2 bald guys on a microphone. It'll be
That's
fine.
right. Listen, I will absolutely tell you, there's nothing to be afraid of with AI.
Except for the person the human being sitting there at the desk. But that's
Right.
always,
That's
you know,
programming.
over
So,
time.
Not afraid. How about leery? Would you go there?
Why?
Well, because for me, leery, I don't understand it, so I'm going to be a little less trusting.
Yeah. So why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. So if I don't know something, I'm a little bit more apprehensive when I'm getting into it until I understand it. Right? I could be just could be a bad thing for me. People.
How many carburetors have you repaired and rebuilt?
I don't know, like a few.
Mm-hmm. And when fuel injection came out, you were like, "Damn it,
I'm out."
This isn't going to work." Fuel injection.
No.
Well, maybe I get a little more horsepower if I go fuel injection. Well, and then fuel injection is not so bad, right? But you still have a lot of cars with carburetors.
Is that AI? Is fuel injection AI?
I'm just saying that times change, things change. Artificial intelligence is a human we program computers to learn these algorithms and to learn.
Right.
And listen, it rewards, right? There are rewards for computers that do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you why be scared of it? It's not going away. It's not going away, right?
No, it's not. It's here to stay. It's understanding it.
Let's go back again. It was a pandemic.
Yeah.
And listen, it was death. And now people are like, yeah, okay. Hey, remember you got to stay away for 10 days, have no symptoms. You got to get your doctor to clear you. Now it's like, okay, just cough in your hand.
Right. Do what you should have done before. Don't get us all worried about it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our knowledge has changed. Our information has changed. The scenario has changed. Right. I mean, and that's part of everything. You know, people have gotten used to it. They've accepted it. They understand maybe a little bit better what's going on. Right. Because back then everyone was so scared. Nobody paid attention. Nobody understood what was happening except a few out there that decided to question everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
but
no, absolutely.
So
I know someone that did that.
Lisa
too.
says because they have begun seeing the ability to create it to be sentient. Who is they?
Yeah, who is they and what's sentient?
Drew says that
Self-aware.
Well, that's what Drew based. Sentient. Okay.
Drew says using AI is not so bad as long as you use SI, self-intelligence, along with it. Correct.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. That's the very rare common sense approach that's not so common in these days.
Again,
there is no common sense.
So
that's we talked about that before too.
There is a difference between fearing something and seeing the negative impact of it. Okay, well, what's the negative impact?
Yeah.
What's the it has improved life. It's saved lives.
Yeah.
It makes travel easier. You name it. It makes writing books easier.
Yeah.
It makes what's the negative impact?
So, you know, back in the day, and we can go back as far as you want with flying aircraft. Okay.
Yeah.
When it was all joystick and a human being, you were scared of the human being flying the plane. Might drop a bomb on you, might not, depending on the situation.
Drunk.
100%, right?
Coming back into work a little liquored up.
See, now I'm not scared of the drones. I'm scared of the person sitting at the desk that I can't see who might misuse that technology.
Who's programming it?
Right. There's somebody programming it, and you're not necessarily scared of that self-flying
Jeremy
drone.
and Jennifer are sitting in a little cargo hold in the mountains of Colorado while they're flying drones in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And striking with precision.
100%, yeah.
That's just a crazy amazing technology.
It's a video game for these kids.
It is a video game.
And totally detached, totally just running a computer program like that. But you're still you're scared of a human being misusing the technology.
Right. What's gonna come out of it and what's being programmed into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing for me with the AI, once again, is that it learns on itself. Not necessarily a bad thing, but can it get to that point to where it is bad? Yeah, of course it can.
I think that is the number one fear.
Well, that's what scares me. So when we've talked about this before, for me, it's good, bad. It can be good or bad. But for me, like when I look at things and I look at like worst case scenario. I plan for the worst, hope for the best, right? And I see the AI and I go, ooh, and my first thing is, oh shit, I walk away from it. So my plan is to stay in the olden days, right? Stay away from it and just do my thing. Well, more and more that I understand that, I'll incorporate a little bit more back into my life. But, I planned, or like I looked at the worst case scenario of it and kind of huddled myself into what my little game plan is going to be.
Yeah.
Right. And I've learned, right? I wasn't right, but I also did my thing. And that's what's beautiful about for me and being an American, I can do what I want. It's my choice, right?
Yeah.
I can be afraid of it. I can embrace it. I can, whatever, but that's my choice. I can't say it's not being pushed down your throat, because you can't really live in this day and age and not have, AI involved in your life in some way, shape, or form, right? But
nobody's ever reached the end of their life and thought, I wish I hadn't built that cool ass bunker.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that learning, understanding, and indoctrinating, bring it into your life. And
see, this is where I wish Gary from Singapore would come in, so we'd have an outside of an America.
I miss it. He's got a good perspective
on something, right? Because
Gary, where are you?
Listen, hey, Americans, whatever happened to this guy named QAnon? He was pretty popular a few years ago. What happened? Oh, okay, right? Allegedly just disappeared. Allegedly, everything he said hasn't come true. Allegedly, right? Or this person, this Q, right? Now we're talking about AI.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, artificial intelligence builds the cars that you literally drive,
or that they drive themselves.
Right. Right. They're programmable robots. That's artificial intelligence. They're more efficient. They're faster. And we as Americans go, you stole my job. Nope, I created a new one for you.
Right.
Go learn how to run the machine. Go learn how to program the machine.
Or learn how to make that that robot.
Except we as Americans go, I hate it. Advancements are dumb.
Well, people don't like change.
People don't like change.
I hate that I don't need two keys to get into my car now.
Yeah,
one for the door and one for the ignition.
You don't even need a key. Just grab the door handle, it pops open.
Right? I hate that. They're putting key makers out of business because now I just have to have the fob in my pocket.
Or biometrics. All I need is my thumb.
I hate that my transmission is electronic and it's not actual gears. Oh, you hate all those things? Oh.
When they first come in, a lot of people do, because then here's the thing is they don't understand it, right? And I'm just as guilty as any. Like I said, when you're not understanding, the first initial response, at least for me, and I'm gonna generalize as a human, right? When you don't understand something, is apprehension, right? Maybe fear if you don't understand, depending on what it is. But I mean, for me, if I don't understand something, I'm apprehensive of it. It might not be a fear, but it's something I'm gonna, really try to ingest and figure out what's going on. If it something like AI that I can't not have in my life. So I've got to figure out how to incorporate it into my life in the best way possible.
Why?
Well, it's there, and I might as well use it because it's going to help me. It's right, and it's understanding that
flow.
Yeah, not go with the flow, but I mean,
Why?
it's there.
Why not?
You ever known me to go with the flow? That's where I'm different. I don't go with the flow. If you say go this way, I go, why?
Yeah,
because everyone else did. Well, good. Then I'm going the other way.
Everybody's on their inner tube with cold drinks and smoking a little herb, and they're floating down the river, and you're walking, pushing yours upstream. Why? Go with the flow.
Well, no, that one I'd be with the flow.
No. That's life. That's life.
That one I'd be with the flow.
That's life.
Because that one I understand.
Why push so hard against it?
Right, but that one I understand.
Enjoy the ride.
Right.
Look, I can tell you, bad things happen all the time.
Every day.
Why worry about it? Hey, if AI comes and, like I said, there's a knock on my door with a robot, and he goes pew pew, and he sticks a laser right through my skull. Guess what? I don't feel it. I don't even know. Why be scared of that?
Well, and again,
being scared of what can't happen. Right. I mean, that's the, fear is what, false evidence appearing real. I mean, you're going to think about something that could potentially happen. And that is humans. I mean, that's kind of part of a human condition for a lot of people. You think about
worrying.
You worry about stuff that you can't control. God, I wish I could shut that part of my life off. Right. You know what I mean? It gets better. You do train yourself. But to your point, it's like,
well, and I think a lot of people have to understand, though, like I was saying before, the illusion of choice. You don't have a choice. And if you don't have a choice, why would you sit there all day, every day, getting yourself all worked up, getting yourself all tense? You don't have a choice. You just got to accept it. You just like a lot of people get themselves completely worked up over whether their favorite sports team is going to win. You can't control that. Feel free to root for your team, but you don't get mad. Don't be breaking the TV. You can't control whether, you know what I mean? Or your favorite politician. Like, if they don't win, okay. Again, you have no control over that at all.
Is there such a thing?
I don't know.
Is a favorite politician?
Lisa says the lack of concern for the collective effects and only seeing how self is at advantage is why things that could be good turn harmful. I'm not tracking that.
Yeah, that one kind of didn't flow for me.
I'm not tracking that. So help us
out.
So
above that, she said, let's just go all through there. She says, let's start up there. There is one of the developers that has spoken out about why he stopped the process. The same. Oh, there! I can't see that one. The same way social media has had a negative impact. To not have concern about it is to stay in the delusion that human intent is positive. The lack of the concern for the collective effects and only seeing how self is at advantage is why things that could be good turn harmful. There is a difference between getting worked up over something obsessively and saying maybe I can't change the direction of something, but I can be responsible to the support you give it.
Yeah,
100%. Or how you respond to it. It's not what happens to us in the world; it's how we react to it and how we use it.
But should we be afraid of AI? If all we do is focus on the negative, we're going to sit in our little house or our little hut or our little cave and go, "Oh my God, I don't want to go outside. Oh my God, oh I can't go outside. Listen, there's something that's going to scan a code and tell me how much something is. I can't go.
Yeah, right.
I can't go. Right?
That was the original.
100%.
I don't understand. How does it know? How does it know that it's an apple? Right.
Well, and the idea that a program is going to randomly become sentient. I mean, we're a ways away from that. But if it did, okay, again, it depends on the program. That's what I want. That stealth bomber that's driven by AI. Do I want that to become sentient? Absolutely not. But what Kent said earlier, you drive past the lawnmower. What if it wakes up one day and decides it hates humans? It's a lawnmower. Like it won't. But if it did,
right,
I'm not overly
Lisa
concerned.
Says afraid is a shame word. That's a trigger. So for all those listening, I apologize for allegedly triggering you with the word afraid this morning. You should be aware and concerned enough to understand the possible negative effects. We are not a ways away from it. Well, let me ask you this. Why am I so concerned with the negative effects and not as concerned with the positive effects? People are bad by nature. It's happened, right? All the way back to biblical times when God wiped out the entire world. Right, with a flood.
Yeah,
right. When Cain hit Abel with a rock and killed him. Right, people. That's human.
Yeah,
that's human.
Right.
All right. But I don't look at Steve and I don't look at you, Scott, and go, well, you guys could stand up and punch me right in the nose right now. So I'm really concerned about that.
Oh, you should be thinking about
I
that.
could give two shits less.
How did I know you were going to say that?
Hey, you know
There's an
what?
opening.
Hey, you know what?
Right.
Change the lens that you look through.
Yeah.
Look at the positive things. This has saved lives, millions of lives.
Yes.
Right.
Right. I no longer have to cut you open to do heart surgery. I
Right.
can go in there with a microscopic and go. Beep, boop,
Right.
boop, boop, boop.
Right. You have
Yep.
to rip your ribs open and
Hey,
yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. Oh,
Right.
but you know what? You could
But
die
that took
from
a
that.
doctor's.
There are people that could die from that, and I'm concerned. So let's not.
Well, that
use
took
it.
a doctor's job. Now the doctor doesn't do the surgery; the computer does.
Or the slice.
In my idea, I'm good with that. I mean, I just
Right.
had hernia surgery. You know, I got 3 little incisions.
and we
They
are.
didn't-
Yeah.
And
You
when
know,
it-
in the old day, they
and
split
listen-
you open stem to stern.
listen, the fears that people have, especially Gen Xers have, about AI taking over the world, never going to happen in my lifetime.
Not in our lifetime, no.
Not happen in my lifetime.
Right.
Right.
And Lisa, that's more what I was talking about, like the dystopian iRobot future when I said we're a ways away from it. I'm talking like the Matrix. I'm not talking about things that currently exist or are being worked on. I'm talking about things that are so far into the future, like where robot armies will rise up against human beings and replace us. That's what I meant when I said it's a ways away.
Right. Yeah. Right. So hey, you know what? Is your glass half full or half empty? Or is the water on the floor? So some people, as they look at AI, the water's all over the floor. There is no glass. This is just a mess. AI is bad.
Well, right. Well,
Scams going to steal my information. Your information's already stolen.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Let
and
me
that's
just tell you.
that's understanding, right, what's really happening, like what we've been chatting about. I mean, it has been here forever, and your information is out there. Is it in the wrong hands yet? No. Can it get there? Yes. Will this technology make it a little bit easier than the old day where, you wanted to steal my money in the old day? You had to rob me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You had to knock me out and take my cash. This day, you walk by with an RFID card reader, things have changed, but it's the understanding of what's going on and being able to implement that into your life, right?
Yeah.
Because AI is wonderful. Are there bad things? Of course there are.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always going to be.
Here's what we need
But
to do.
can we look at the good?
We need to put kids in a classroom and let AI be the teacher. Period.
That would be interesting.
Period.
Well, that's basically what's happening anyway, because most of these teachers these days have no control over what they teach
Right.
the kids anyway.
Listen,
Here's your curriculum. Do it.
listen.
Just give me a computer.
We're going to put an adult in there just to monitor the room. Right? Just to monitor the room, make sure nobody gets crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what they did with self-checkouts. That
Right.
ain't working either.
It's absolutely working.
Self-checkouts?
Yeah.
Oh, they're wanting to get rid of them a lot of places because it's costing them
Theft.
more time and theft.
That,
And a lot
it's
of time of
the
people
human
fixing
You
Human
condition.
haven't heard
condition.
what Walmart's doing then, obviously.
I just was talking the other day. They
So-
were saying Walmart was pulling it out. Are they not?
No.
What are they? Are they
Walmart
getting?
is going to.
They're going full self-checkout soon.
Yes.
Is what they're supposed
And
to
you're
do.
going to have to pay the annual membership fee. They're only going to have one person, one lane in each Walmart with one person checkout. So if you don't want to pay for their membership,
You got to
you're gonna
wait
have to
in a
stand
huge line.
with
Yeah.
45 people.
So I recently got back.
Well,
or
that's
not-
a new one. I didn't hear that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
I won't
interesting.
say recently got back. It was like a year or two ago. But I got back from Seattle. Now, if you don't know much about Seattle and like Portland up in
Yeah,
that
I know.
area,
I know there's a lot
Okay,
of parties.
Amazon owns a huge portion of the town, right?
Okay.
So when you go to an Amazon, it's like a Walgreens, little Amazon store. Okay,
Yeah.
you put things in your pocket,
Mm-hmm.
take them off the shelf, you put them in your
And
pocket,
just walk out
and
and
you-
already
and
scanned
you-
you.
Scans your face.
and you walk out.
Yeah,
And
some
it's
of
the
them
craziest
charge
thing I ever
Right,
saw.
it charges your card because you got a card on file.
And I will tell you, we're pretty far from that being accurate. I walked out, I looked at what I got, and I looked at what they charged me for, and I was like, they've got to be losing their ass here because it was
It didn't grab
No,
everything. So
no.
was to
You would
your
grab
advantage.
you grab 3 candy bars, it sees you reach for a candy bar. I mean, in some cases, it knew when I was
Ah.
grabbing 2 when I reached twice, but when I reached up and I grabbed
Grabbed the whole
multiples,
handful.
it didn't understand that. But again, I was able to walk in and all you do, handprint.
Yeah.
Right.
Put your hand down, it knows you're in the store, it follows you around on camera, sees what you're doing, and then you just walk out. You put things right into your bag. You bag it right there in the aisle.
Yep.
And then it charges you later on your Amazon account with whatever card you want.
That's cool. It's very cool, but it's not creepy, but it's cool, but I can't think of the word. It's different. It's different, right? It's not something we're used to yet.
So we're on the back end of this. Scott, should we be afraid of AI? Yes or no?
No, I changed my mind. Go
imagine. Afraid of AI? Yes or no?
No. And I want to circle back to what you said earlier. The reason why I would never be, even if it was able to target people specifically, same reason my dad left his car unlocked. He drove the crappiest car in the neighborhood. Why would anybody target him? He used to drive to the middle of the city and not lock his car. And he always said, why would anybody target me? What do I have that anybody wants?
Somebody would take it, right?
My life is not that interesting.
Right.
Yeah. And if AI gets smart enough to determine who it's going to attack, it's not me. And I understand.
That's a good way to look at that one. I like that. I mean, and that's what I love about the grounds, right? Like this morning and the whole time I'm thinking about, am I afraid of it?
Listen, I absolutely love artificial intelligence. I've lived with it most of my life, and my wife will tell you that, right? Or no intelligence. But listen, I
says a lot about your wife.
I find it fascinating. I absolutely love every aspect of it. If I go, man, you know what, Scott, I need to drop a contract so you don't screw me for spraying chemicals on my lawn that drifts over into your lawn. I go to ChatGPT and go, hey, draw up a contract to say Scott can't sue me for my chemicals bleeding over into his lawn.
Right, and it just blows it right
hey,
out.
Scott, here, man. Listen, I'm going to go out and spray these weeds. I just need you to sign this right here because it could get a little drift on there. Right, next thing you know, his guinea pig dies.
Yeah,
I don't know. Right. All I'm saying is I love it. I lean into it. I think it's cool that Google sends me reports every month like, hey, here's where you traveled to. I'm like, God damn, how did you know that I went into that restaurant? That's amazing. I love this. I'm like, this is awesome. Right. To me, that's cool. I'm not that fascinating for the government, the United States government or any other government to go, hey, you know what? Let's steal Kent's identity. Let's steal a bunch of credit cards, put them in his name. Listen. Good luck. And while you're doing it, make the payments on time. Maybe it'll help my credit score. I don't know, right? Listen, they steal my shit and then they ask for a refund. Like,
yeah, right. Wait, do we gotta pay?
How do I get this back? Right?
Yeah, right. Wait, you go up there and be like, he doesn't have any balance. All right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Listen, to me, it's awesome. You got to embrace it. You got to go with the flow, embrace it. And listen, there's shit in life there's people who still think we landed on the moon. Right. There's people who think we didn't land on the moon. There's people who are saying that the world is flat.
I was just going to say this earlier.
People are whack. Right. Some are good. Some are bad. Who cares? The bad ones, some of them are in jail. The good ones, some of them are in jail. Right. Yeah. Humans are not perfect. Who cares? Love them. Right.
Yeah.
That's what life is about. Right. Go with the flow. Have a good life. Whatever. If AI steps in, wonderful.
Lisa says this one was saddening.
This one was sad.
It's and I don't, not that I don't disagree with only looking at things if they affect you personally, whether they're a problem or not. I'm not sure it's a problem for the world either.
You can make it a problem.
I was more joking about it not coming at me personally. That is more of a joke than it was my excuse for why I'm not.
You can make anything good, bad, or indifferent depending, right? You can look at it from 20 different levels. I don't understand why Lisa thinks this is saddening, and that's her opinion as a human being, right? But I don't think it's saddening. It's just one of those things that, like, for me, I don't have enough knowledge, so it scares me, right? Or I'm apprehensive about it. Is it a great thing? Yeah, it's got tons of great potential. But because things that we don't understand, right, we tend to fear or put down, right? If you don't understand something, just like with people, you don't understand somebody, you're going to knock them. Yeah. Right. I don't understand it. So it scares me. Do I see the potential? Absolutely. Yeah. Do I like change? Not so much, because I'm pretty comfortable with where I'm at in life. Right. I mean, I am, but I'm not. But it's like, wow, now I got to tackle this shit.
Some people think
deal with this.
Change the lens.
I was just
Some people think we're a lot closer to that iRobot situation. Like, depending on who you are, and I think that's why Lisa said it was saddening. She thinks we're either a lot closer to it, or she said for her children, grandchildren. She's worried. Yeah. She's worried that that's going to happen.
Here's what I will tell you. Here's the only thing I wish on my children and my grandchildren, that they know that I love them. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't give a shit. I'm dead. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about this, right? My mind stops. Listen, here's what I want them to be able to do is go, hey, look at all this crazy shit my great-great-great-grandpa did. Go to YouTube. Look at all these old things.
Yeah,
He's a fucker.
Yeah, look at this crazy bastard. He really likes to mess with people.
This guy's an idiot.
That's where I get it from. My grandkids are somebody like, it totally makes sense now. Look at Grandpa. Listen to him.
They're going to be playing this in evidence at a trial sometime in like 50 years.
Listen, because I don't know. In 200 years, I don't know. I really don't care.
Yeah,
I'll be dead. I'll be dead. Right.
Well, not the way you're going. You might last.
I'm living to be 140 years old. My midlife crisis will come when I'm 70.
Good stuff.
You know why? Because AI is going to allow me to live to 140 years old.
See, and Drew nailed it. It's their world. They will adapt, as has every generation. We always worry for the future generations. Every generation on the planet has always adapted and learned. And yes, the world will change, but it won't necessarily die. I mean, we're not.
It's not going to end.
It's not going to end. It's just
right.
It will be different.
Right.
Absolutely. That's 100% exactly right. Yeah,
that's it. Hey, nuclear energy powers a lot of people's homes.
Mm-hmm.
But if all we did was worry about the negative aspect of it,
yeah,
we wouldn't have that clean power. That's all.
Right.
That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
All right, listen, we got to run.
Yep. Hey, guys, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate y'all stopping in to visit with us every Friday morning to listen to a couple of, I'm not going to say idiots, but very interesting gentlemen that have very interesting looks.
A few guys with artificial
intelligence. A few guys with no yeah, we need the artificial intelligence because there's no real intelligence up there. We're just bullshitting. Hey, guys, go out there, be the change you want to see in the world. Give everyone that little daily dose of encouragement. We appreciate you tuning in each and every day. Have a wonderful day. Go out there, love, hug, and hey, maybe use Chat GPT to